Well, John, first of all, it's fantastic to spend a little bit of time with you on the anniversary day today of that memorable night in the Bernabeu back in 1980. I spoke to Gary Birtles earlier, and he talked me through his part of your goal. And he said to me, he said, one thing I always learned with John was you go towards it and he'll find you. Just talk us through that moment because it means so much to all Forest supporters.
Well, for a start, he's been a bit unfair on himself because he did all the work for that goal, really. I'd got inside, got the ball, I think it broke from me from Gary Mills. I think it was my first real chance of getting a go at Manny Celts, and I thought I'll take my opportunity, I'll cut inside, and I did. But then I was running out of options, and Gary just made himself available, as he always did. But the thing is, it wasn't a great ball for me, and he broke his neck to get to it. And when he did, he managed to poke it back in my path. And I think it was Kevin Keegan was the last one who tried to cut it, went past, and then I hit it. And what I remember about that was thinking it's got a chance because it was moving away from the goalkeeper when I hit it. And of course, when it was over the moon, man, you know.
Yeah, can you remember what it felt like when you saw the ball actually go past the keeper and in, and you think, "Hang on, I've just scored in the European Cup final." What was that feeling like? I can't imagine that.
Unbelievable! It was only lasted for about 10 seconds because when I saw it had gone in, I did actually say I've scored, and I put both my hands up in the air. Then the next thing I know is being surrounded with the boys, and my hands gradually. When I look back on television, seeing your hands gradually getting pulled in, so. It was a great feeling. It was a brilliant moment, especially for me because of getting it. But the lads were fantastic that night. It was a great performance. Up against it, but it was a great performance.
There's the wonderful interview that gets played a lot of the manager talking about your battle with Manny Celts before the final because everybody was building Celts up, and quite rightly so. He was regarded as the best right back in the world at that time, and everybody was looking at that battle. What did it mean to you, the fact that Brian, and I suppose Peter as well, had so much confidence in you on that night to still be the deciding factor up against a player of that calibre?
Well, it was just it's sort of a funny incident because at lunchtime he said we were going to attack down the left-hand side in Manny Celts. We're going to attack in every possible chance we can. Then by the time tea time comes, he said, "No, we're going to play 5 across midfield, 1 up front." So that was how we are. But the great thing about that was that we didn't work on anything, but the players were that good that you could just tell them that they knew what they had to do.
Gary was talking about the work rate as well. I mean, the amount of running that everybody had to do that night because they were a special team. I mean, they were a very strong team. I think Kevin Keegan won European Footballer of the Year that year, and they got a lot of the German national team within, or the West German national team as it was back then within the side. They were a good team.
Oh, they were very, very good. Felix Magath as well, I think captain was in Germany at the time. Horst Rubesch, you know, and then I think there's Buljan, the big Yugoslavian lads. They were a very, very good team. And talking about work rate, nobody worked harder than us. This sounds like a mutual admiration society, but nobody worked harder for us that night than the centre forward. It was truly magnificent.
Yeah. When you think back on that time, I mean, the supporters are all reminiscing at the moment about from promotion to the First Division through the Championship, the League Cup wins, Charity Shields, into Europe, etc. Does it make any sense to you really how it all came together and how it worked? I mean, there's been the wonderful film made about it, and we're all talking about it. You guys knew how good you were, but there must be that element of, were we really part of that? Did that really happen?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. When we go back about the goal, the bit I missed out was that I've often thought about it since that I'd like to have been taken out of that situation and watched it, if you know what I mean, see how I felt. But the players I can't stop saying this. The players were brilliant. It's no surprise to me because 5 of them were already at the club, and I knew how good they were. They weren't getting a game with the previous manager didn't like us, and it took Brian a bit of time to get to know us as well. But once they did that, they augmented it with the Peter Shilton, Nancy Gemmels, and Kenny Burns and people like that who came in who I don't care what anybody says, they're world-class players. So
I'll let you into a secret, John. Whenever I go to Madrid and I go to the Bernabeu to do a Champions League commentary, the groundsman there is an English fella called Paul Burgess. He used to be at Arsenal, and he always comes to have a conversation with us, and he takes us out onto the pitch. Every time I go down there, I walk out and I look to my left, and I try and imagine in my mind what it must have looked like that night, because I was sat in the living room as a young lad watching it on the telly. And and then the stadium's totally different now because it's all been built up and it was quite open at that end back then. And I try and visualise what it must have looked like from down there when you scored that goal.
It was so special. And there for it was after 20 minutes, so we had a long time to go. And of course, we lost Trevor, who was playing magnificently at the time for us in the lead up to it. And so it was a big loss for us, losing Trevor. But Millsy came in and was, for a boy, he was a little young kid. He kind of did great. But as I can't stop saying it, they were all great. They were all great.
As I mentioned to you, I was speaking to Gary earlier, Gary Birtles, and he made the point that I don't think a lot of Forest supporters who weren't watching you on a regular basis at that time would appreciate, and that is that you were two-footed in every sense of the word. But Gary said if you had to actually favour one, you'd say you were a little bit more right-sided than left-sided, which all of a sudden makes it really easy to understand how the trick works, because the fullback wouldn't know which way you were going to go.
Naturally, I was naturally right-footed. There's no doubt about that. But I was good enough with my left that I could go on the outside of people and get the cross on. But I was definitely right-footed naturally. You'll notice when I took penalties, I took them on the right foot.
Yeah, well, until you said that, I never thought. But now I can see you taking them, and I get that. Which I suppose the year before must give you a tremendous amount of pleasure. The fact you're able to go on the outside of the fullback and put in a cross of that quality for Trevor at the far post against Malmo.
I was really pleased with that because what I was pleased with was when I went past the two guys or took them on in the race, is my right hand came out. It's like my hero, Liam Brady was my hero at the time. He still always had the ball on his left foot and held his right arm and held people off. And I was really chuffed with that, and they got the cross in. So it was, and of course Trevor's made miles up in behind the end. So we're doing.
Yeah. When you look back on that time, how special was the group of people? And I include the management team in that, all of the players. It looked like, and it seems like, a very special gathering of individuals, let alone a very good football team.
Well, I think that's it. I think the camaraderie among the lads was fantastic. We used to meet once a week, go out and socially, and we behaved ourselves, but we went and had a good time, and we were close. We were close. Any day, I'd gladly go for a drink with any one of their people at any time they asked. I loved them. I loved playing for them, and I loved them guys. The manager was brilliant. His assistant manager, Jimmy Gordon, was fantastic as well, and that he knew what he could let you get away with, and what he didn't. He didn't leave you in the car. If you'd done something wrong, Jimmy would say, "Are you going to tell the manager? Am I?" So we'd eventually say, "Well, we'll tell him, Jimmy." And of course, because we were brave and coming to the manager, he gave us less of a telling off, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And one thing that will endure forever is an extremely special relationship that you have with Forest supporters. But I think more importantly than that, the extremely special relationship that they have with you. They quite rightly put you on that pedestal. You're everybody's favourite player. When they do the polls about the greatest player of all time in that famous Gary Baldy shirt, you're always at the top of the list. How special is your relationship with the club, the fans, the city of Nottingham, based on what you went through together during that time?
Well, anything I ever have, or I've got, other than obviously raising a family, anything is down to them. I would never have been sitting here talking to you if I hadn't been for them. And the supporters were fantastic as well. You know, they gave me sticky when I had the odd, I'm going to say the odd, the bad times. There was a couple of times I went through crisis of confidence, but they stuck by me, and it was, as I say, I couldn't have done what I did with their support.
You've always been one of them, haven't you? I mean, they could always associate with you. You've always been one of them. So did that give you an even greater connection during those times when the trophies were coming and Forest was so successful, that you got that natural connection with everybody watching?
Yeah, I think so, because I like to, you know, it's like, I'm the first to grab a karaoke mic, you know, to have a go in the karaoke. So I suppose I could relate myself with some of the things I did with the fans. It's a difficult question, that. I'm not 100% sure I've answered it properly, but
no, I know exactly where you are. Look, John, we've got to finish, but I just want to say to you on a personal level that you gave me some of the most special and cherished football memories that I had as a young lad, watching you achieve everything that you did back then. Everything that you achieved for that team, with that team during that time, will never be forgotten. And as I said to Gary earlier today, I really hope that you sit down today, grab yourself a glass of something that you really enjoy, and think back and just remember how proud everybody is of what you achieved and how much happiness you brought as an individual and as a team to a whole city back then, because it was absolutely magnificent. So thank you.
Thanks very much, Fletcher. It's really nice of you to say that. I mean it.
Much appreciated.
Thanks very much.